1, 2.
Welcome back to the podcast. We are Just These Guys, you know. I am Lance.
And I am Mike.
And we are in our new studio digs. For those of you who are used to hearing the sounds a little bit differently, the reason is we got a bunch of new equipment in here today, and we rearranged the room and the furniture, and we're getting used to it all. But hopefully this will allow us to have a better quality audio output and bring some more thrills to the show now that we can take calls and maybe even, I haven't figured out how to do it yet, do like FaceTime or Zoom calls.
Oh, those kind of thrills.
We can have those.
I thought it was as thrilly as it could get. And it sounded great to me. So,
It can only get better.
heck yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Just in
Is that
case
going to
there's-
be when I'm talking too much? Which one was that, by the way?
That was the yellow one. They're written there, but they're hard to read. But say something funny.
Something funny. And I
You guys are going to get sick of this for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be just hitting that on everything we say.
Right.
That's funny. That is funny.
And when Mike tells one of his sappy stories,
Now, wait a minute. That's yellow. The other
that's-
yellow's the crickets.
What yellow?
You push that
That's
yellow.
kind of a burnt orange.
Are you colorblind?
Might be. I'm the one doing all the editing, so how do
Yeah.
they look?
You're right. That's funny.
Am I colorblind? Real quick, a shout out to our brothers and sisters in Hawaii, Maui.
Yes.
We watching you here on the news, and our heart goes out to you. And whether it, I was going to say whether it helps or not, but it does help. We are keeping you in our prayers, and we are looking for opportunities to be of assistance,
Yeah.
however we can. But we wanted you to know that you're not suffering alone.
Yeah.
So we are thinking about you.
Unimaginable to be right there in the middle of it and just every single minute experiencing that kind of devastation and the number of lost lives. And yeah,
Yeah, it looks like a war zone.
man, for sure. God
So-
bless them.
Aloha, Maui, Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to segue off of that.
Yep. Well, Lord, just be with them. Give them the peace that can only truly come from you. In Jesus' name.
And if we could take calls from Hawaii now with this new equipment.
Man, this is about to go to a whole nother level.
Now, we've literally just set this up, turned it on, never used it at all till this moment. So you're getting to see us play with it. We might have to edit a lot of this out, but let's check this out, see if this works. You getting a ring over there?
Yeah.
Are you getting a ring over there?
Yeah.
Hey, that sounds like it's on the radio, right?
It sounds like it's coming from Europe.
What was that radio show down in Oklahoma?
Yeah.
What was his name? How big a old boy are you?
Yep. I'll
Wasn't
think of
Earl-
it in a second.
Was it Earl Pitts?
No.
No. But yeah, we could prank call people now.
Dang.
Technical issues, we're working them out. But yeah, we got new equipment here. We will be able to do a lot of neat things going on. So let's get right to the show, Mike. Tell me about your Walmart experience.
Well, it's a perfect segue. Man, I wish I could think of that dude's name. Now that's all I'm going to be thinking of. It'll pop in as soon as I. Yeah, how big an old boy are you? Well, you better.
My wife brought her dog into your
Yep.
station there to have him cleaned, and he came home. He was missing a chunk of hair out of his left ear. My wife's all beside herself.
Yep. My wife, Sharon Jean. So I can remember his wife's name. I can't think of his name. Anyway, so Sunday.
If you know his name, call in.
Yeah. Yeah. Shoot us a text. Okay,
That's
I just
gonna
got to
bug
quit
you.
thinking about it. Sunday afternoon. And it had to be Sunday afternoon. Oh, how quickly a fool returns to his folly. Dawn and I were sitting at home, and we were just trying to figure out what we were going to do for the remainder of the day that was heat index somewhere around 148. So we knew it was going to be indoors.
Right.
So we decided we were going to put we were going to cook something for dinner, but not anything that was going to be, hot, not turn the oven on, nothing like that. So we decided,
We're going to cook ice cream.
yep. Well, what we did was we put a grocery list together. Now, this is a rare thing for us to do these days because of the whole pick your groceries up thing. We do that all the time.
Oh, you do that.
Oh, absolutely. Because we don't have to go in to the world of Walmart. And
You get to enjoy the convenience of driving up, picking it up, and driving away.
Well, yeah, it's usually convenient when there's not a line of 10 cars
Right.
in each stall. You know what I'm saying? And they get most of your groceries right as far as, I think they do a good job. Obviously, we continue to do it. But on this particular day, we needed now what we wanted. So we go in and we go inside. Now, I'm thinking to myself that on a day like Sunday where it is so stinking hot, everybody's going to be staying home, staying in, the AC, and Walmart's going to be nice, and it's just going to be a nice, smooth experience because I guarantee you it's 75% of the time that I do actually go into Walmart, I run into somebody I know, and I don't have the convenience of just ignoring people. I mean, I can act a little bit like I don't see them,
Sure.
but I can't just do the blatant turn and burn. You know what I'm saying? So, because it's usually somebody from the church,
Sure.
or even if it's not, if I know them, I just kind of, that's who I'm supposed to be, I guess. So we go run into a gentleman, hadn't seen him in a long time. So I'm standing there having a conversation, and Dawn starts to get a little heated at me because my role in this every single time is to get the cart, follow her in the cart.
Sure.
Do not stray away from her.
Sure.
Do not hit her in the heel with the cart, but maintain my proper distance behind her, and do not leave, do not wander, do not pass go,
Sure.
do not receive $200, right? Is that what it is? And so I'm standing there talking to this guy. She comes walking back with an attitude and an arm full of groceries. And she said, boy, he's lucky he's talking to you because I was about to give him a mindful here because he's supposed to be following me with the cart. And I'm just looking at her going, I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, yeah, I'm in the safe zone because you can't really tell me what you want to tell me because he's standing here. And so anyway, we get through. But here's the deal. Walmart is also not empty when it's 148 degrees out. It's full. It's full of people who either don't have AC at home.
I was going to say, they don't have AC at home. So
Yeah. I mean, this place was crowded. And the first sign was when we turned into the parking lot and there's not hardly even a space available. So we go in and we're getting all this done. We were getting chicken salad.
Wow.
See, that's the cold.
that's-
Yeah. Chicken salad. We're making chicken salad. She makes an amazing chicken salad. And so we were making that. And then we got strawberries and we got watermelon. And I came up with this brilliant idea that we were going to make gluten-free fluff.
Wow.
Now, have you ever had fluff?
No.
You know what fluff is?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Fluff is gluten-free Oreo cookies.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Heck yeah, they taste exactly like the gluten-filled ones.
Whoa.
So gluten-free, whipped topping, and vanilla pudding. Okay? So you mix those three together. We're headed up. We get all of our ingredients. We get everything. We're heading up towards the front. And I say, I don't even know why I said this. I'm with a professional shopper. But I said, do we have everything?
Ooh.
And she says, yes, we have everything. And so we get home. I get back into my recliner because that's where I like to spend my Sundays. And from the kitchen, Don says, we need more pudding.
Uh-oh. And your feet are up.
So the lesson ultimately in this whole story is be quick to listen. James 1:19-20. Quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to become angry. Okay? And it says, because anger does not produce the righteousness of God. So now I'm sitting there in my recliner. We need more pudding. And so I said, well, have fun.
Oh.
Not the right response.
No.
And I knew I was just kidding. Because if she's telling me we need more pudding, I'm going to get pudding. So I get out of my recliner. I get back into my shoes. I go back out into the 178 degree weather. Go to Walmart. It's more full than ever. I didn't even get inside and I ran into somebody in the dang parking lot. But I had a little fun this time because it was Stan, our drummer, and he had backed out of his stall, and I pulled my car right up next to him. I mean, the front of my car right up next to the side of his car because I was going to have a little fun. And he's looking out his window at me, and he's just giving me the eyeball,
right?
And I've got my hands up in the air, like the what are you doing, or what are you looking at? And I'm mean mugging him, and he's mean mugging me.
Does he know who you are yet?
No,
Okay.
Doesn't have a clue.
Yeah.
And so finally, I rolled my window down and I waved at him, and he recognized me. Finally figured it out. He starts laughing. I'm laughing. It was actually the most enjoyable part of the Walmart day. And so ended up going back into Walmart. And now remember, I said it was crowded, right?
For the listeners, if you'll notice a theme here, he's having to follow Dawn with the cart, keep it close, but not on her heels. Sound like a 14-year-old, and now he's out in the parking lot playing practical jokes on people. So if you ever wondered about Mike and his personality, here you go.
It's just not smart to send me to Walmart by myself. So I go in, I find the pudding aisle because I hadn't gone with her the first time. I found the dang pudding aisle, which is under baking. Why wouldn't they just put pudding on the dang sign? They put baking.
The baking. Who bakes?
Who bakes? So I go down.
Who bakes pudding?
And here's the thing. You would assume, I honestly thought I would be the only person in the store who would be there for pudding.
Right.
Nope.
Really?
There was a group of us there for pudding. Apparently, it's popular on a 197 degree day. And so I'm standing there and I'm starting to get a little annoyed. Slow to speak, or quick to listen, slow to speak. And so I'm being patient. And finally, and it's always, and I don't want to say anything too bad, but it's always the people that have decided they're going to get on the amusement ride of the cart and stroll around, and they're parked right in front of the pudding. So it's not just people standing around. We got people sitting in the cart looking for pudding. And I'm just standing back trying to be patient. And finally, it's my turn. I get up. I'm looking for the pudding. And now, as I'm looking around, the only flavor that I don't see is vanilla.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's got to be vanilla. You don't do fluff. Now I've seen recipes where you could do chocolate, you can all this, but I got a certain flavor of fluff that
In
I'm
your
after,
brain.
and it's vanilla. So I see everything else. I see chocolate, I see lime, I see lemon, I see all of them. But finally, I see vanilla. Big word, vanilla. I grabbed that box and I got out. So I get home. I even grabbed an extra box of vanilla. I grabbed 2 just in case. You can't be too safe.
Yeah.
There's no returning to Walmart.
You can't have
2
too much
trips
vanilla pudding.
in one day is 1 too many. Maybe 2 too many.
Too many.
So I get an extra. I get home. I lay it down. She says, "Where the heck have you been?" Because it took me so long.
Right.
I lay the pudding down, and she looks at me and she says, "Cook and serve." And I was like,
What?
"Yeah, cook and serve it."
Yeah. What's pudding?
She says, "It can't be cook and serve. It has to be instant." Did you know this?
I did not know this. I did
I-
not know there was a difference.
Did not know this either. So be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to become angry. Okay, this is not going in the right direction because here's what I said. And I am finding myself struggling less with the big idiot moments. It's the small idiot moments that turn into big idiot
Yes.
moments that if I can control the small idiot moments, then I don't have to worry so much about them becoming like I can take a molehill in an instant and make it a mountain.
Sure.
So I said, "You knew this?" I'm turning it right on her. Yeah, I mean, that was a boomerang. I said, "You knew this piece of information and you didn't tell me this piece of information? You sent me knowing darn well that there was probably a very good chance that I'm going to end up coming back with cook and serve instead of instant, and you didn't tell me that? You could have just let me know. You could have just gone yourself." I'm standing here now, and then I just... Well, no, I didn't grab it. I said, "I'm not standing in that line." I wasn't going to return the wrong stuff that I bought, which, by the way, it was only like $3.
Right.
Pudding's cheap. I just left it. I got back out in the car, went back to Walmart. So now we're at Walmart 3 times in one day.
I'm never going back to Walmart.
One 212-degree day 3 times.
Well, when the blood pressure's up, it feels even hotter.
Ooh-wee. So
Stomp, stomp, stomp.
I get back there. I get into Walmart. I look, and I'm convinced that the first time I could hardly find any vanilla pudding. There's no way I'm going to find instant vanilla pudding. But I found instant vanilla pudding.
Really?
I did.
All those old ladies didn't buy it all out.
No. And I was pretty clear. And so I went up. I got an extra pack again because that's how I roll. I wasn't going to go back a 4th time. And I ended up grabbing the instant pudding, went home. But before I went home, back in the parking lot, on the way out, who do I run into? I'm telling you, it happens. This was 100. I batted 100 that day. Saw somebody all 3 trips. I ran into Marty and Dawn Albright. And they're just as happy-go-lucky as can be. They're a married couple. They're walking into Walmart hand in hand. Matter of fact, they parked right next to me. And they're walking in. I'm walking out. I'm fuming. They're skipping on their way into Walmart. And it just kind of hit me. Man, I am an idiot. I am a fool. So I decided after this whole experience, because I went home, and here's one thing about it.
Sure.
If there's anything redeemable about this, I'm thankful for this, that when Donna and I have moments where I have been an idiot, she's quick to forgive, and I try to be as quick as I can to recover. And so we just move on. But I don't want to just move on without learning.
Sure.
And so, I've had to apologize. And now I've just started each morning with, "Good morning. Hey, I'm sorry."
Whatever I'm going to do
Whatever,
today.
yeah. So we had a really nice evening of chicken salad and fluff. And it's good. You got to try the fluff. But here's the deal. Instant pudding.
Now notice he didn't bring any fluff.
No, it's gone. It is gone.
Telling you right now, Lance, you got to try it.
It was that good, but I will bring some. I'll bring some. Yeah, I'll bring some next week. Any excuse to make fluff. It's that good. And gluten-free. So, but this whole idea of quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to become angry. For me, that's another example of a moment where I am going to do my best to quickly remember that I can actually control that moment. I don't have to go where my either instinct or my emotion is wanting to take me. I can take a minute and stop
And do what?
and decide what I want. And what I want is to not go there.
Not going.
There you go. There's your not. I want to do better.
Well, and for the listeners who have criticized me for criticizing you, Lance, you're so hard on Mike. He has told me in the driveway this helps him. So,
Yeah.
quick to listen. Listen to what? What are you going to listen to? That's a beautiful phrase. People needlepoint it, put it on the wall, or they used to. Now they put it in a meme and send it out on Facebook. Throw it in your face. Quick to listen to what?
Well, not to the voice that's wanting to scream out.
I think.
Are you going to go Holy Spirit on me?
No. Well, you can do that.
Okay.
Okay, we'll have three. Certainly, Holy Spirit, how do you want me to handle this moment? I am listening. Secondly, and less spiritual, is listen for the full story. We oftentimes jump to conclusions. Somebody says something, and we're already making up our mind about what they meant, where they're going with this. And so being quick to listen, like, okay, you just said that you think I'm an idiot.
Well, no, listen, this is 100% on me.
No. We slowing down, listening to them, listening to the full story, listening to what they mean, listening to what's important to them. We are being considerate of them. We're getting all the facts before we move forward. And in this particular situation, that one doesn't necessarily apply. But in the world of quick to listen, one, listen to the Holy Spirit for guidance. We never do that till 2 days later after we've wrecked the car. I should have listened to that little voice in my head. Told me don't do that.
Right.
Then secondly, quick to listen. Because, somebody will say something, we get in a big argument, and 2 days later, they're like, that's not what I meant. Like, oh, well, I'm sorry. I thought you meant. And then there's a whole discussion about what I thought you thought because we weren't listening. Mm-hmm. But what is really applicable in a whole lot of circumstances is listen to what you're actually thinking.
Got it. That's where that works.
And, you got home and got all the groceries. You asked her on the way out the store, did we get everything? Now, Don, this is in no way your fault, period. Do not misinterpret anything. But this is the scenario. This is the setting as you're walking out the door. Did we get everything? Yes. Your mind is now turning to your Sunday afternoon, your attention, your expectations for what you're going to be doing. You come home, kick back in the chair. So you now have the expectation, should, must, have to, need to, got to, expect, that I'll be able to relax and enjoy the rest of my evening. When she says we need pudding, frustrated, we should have got it when we were in the store. She should have known that we didn't get it when I asked her if we did get everything, and I shouldn't have to get up off this couch and go. So there were three shoulds that just kicked right into gear, and that's why the frustration started to rise up.
So I listened to this selfish jerk. I mean, I'm
No, there is no reason to beat yourself up. There are two sets of sunglasses you can purchase at the store. There are two ways to think about the situation, and it's simple. Would you like to get everything in one trip? Would it be nice to be able to feel confident when you get home? And when you get home and you sit down, would you like to relax? Now, when she says we need to go back for vanilla, I am disappointed, as opposed to frustrated and angry because I'm not getting what I wanted. But anytime frustration and anger is present, automatic, there is a should statement buried in there somewhere.
sure.
That's what causes the frustration and the anger, is the thought process of shoulds. And, these people should get out of my way. Everybody should stay home on a hot day. I expected to be able to walk in here and have elbow room. There's all these shoulds. They're little.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of shit happens.
And it is exactly what you said. When it's a big thing, we're kind of on guard and we're prepared and we're really paying attention to what we're thinking and what we're doing and saying. But it's the little things that will ignite the wildfire. And a long time ago, I used to do couples therapy. I would have them in the office, both together on the couch. It's like you traditionally see in a movie or something. And one of the exercises I put them through was I would ask them what's going on. And when they started arguing, because they would, that's why they're there,
Right.
I secretly would start noting the topic. So, number one, what's going on? Well, he did this, that, and the other, and he shouldn't have done that. Okay. But then he will fire back, well, you did this, and and then they'll argue about that, and then that'll lead to something he did 6 weeks ago, and then that'll bring up something she did 15 years ago, and then something his mother-in-law did, and while I'll just let them argue. Just sit there and watch them. Let them argue. Nod my head. They don't care. They're paying me to argue.
Yeah.
And as they argue, I'll just start tracking the topic. And when I get to number 16 on the paper, I will raise my hand, and then they turn to me and say, yes, what do you want? You're interrupting us. What? What? And I'll simply ask, you guys started arguing about 10 minutes ago. Yeah. Do you remember what the topic was that started the argument? No. And that's what we do, is a little thing irritates one of us when we start bickering and arguing about it. You shouldn't have said that. You should have done this. You should have done shoulda. I expected him to come home with the vanilla pudding, and he came home with a battery. What the? And so as that argument starts, it's a little thing. It's vanilla pudding. Why are we arguing over vanilla pudding? It's not the vanilla pudding. It is not the vanilla pudding. You're not an idiot. It is how we think that creates the frustration, irritation, and gives control to that other person and builds resentment. So we argue about the vanilla pudding, and then we go through 16 topics until we're fed up. We go slam the doors, don't talk to each other for a day or two, and then we start feeling out the waters again. How are you? How are you? I'm good. How are you? Oh, well, let's have a nice day today. And the next time we start arguing, guess what? Number 16 on that list is going to be is the vanilla pudding. Because we never resolved the vanilla pudding. We just argued about it, argued about other things, and then stopped arguing. And that's why the little things, if they're not addressed, if there's not closure on a topic, you know what? You're right. I went in, I bought vanilla pudding. I had no idea there were two different types of vanilla pudding. My bad. It is not her responsibility to tell you.
Right.
It is your responsibility to know. Now, Would it be nice had she informed you of this? Different kettle of fish altogether. Altogether. Right. It has to be because you don't control her.
Right.
Now, it would be nice if she had to let you know in advance, right?
Sure.
Okay. So it would be nice if she'd let me know in advance. I would have liked for her to let me know in advance. Here today, what can I do about what happened 20 minutes ago?
Yeah. Not a thing.
I can tell her what I would have liked and ask that next time, if there's a chance that I can be confused, if you think there's any kind of outside chance that Lance can be confused about something, it would be great if you would let me know specifically what you're wanting when I go to the store for you. Go to the store and get us some beans. Well, guess what? There's about 42 different flavors and 20 different brands, and I'm going to walk in and grab what I think she meant. When you go to the store, get Del Monte French cut green beans. Okay? Don't cheap out on me here. I need the Del Monte French cut.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
that would be nice.
Yeah.
But
she's in no way responsible for this situation.
Zero. This is 100% on you.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I'm talking to you.
It's 100 degrees on me.
100 degrees on me. I think it's already 100 outside right now.
And I'm like most dudes. There's really a good chance I'm not going to get the right thing. When I go to the store, it happens all the time. I mean, all the time. Mm-hmm. For whatever reason, this was just kind of an accelerated experience of just foolishly getting mad. And
we have a caller.
Is it Dawn?
No. We're not taking that call. We're not taking that call. I have no idea who that is.
Now that I've never heard on a call-in program. Oh, no, we're not taking that one. We don't have the guy over in the room screening the calls.
Right.
So you were going to have to be the ones, nope, not taking that one.
I don't know who that is.
Whoa, that's funny.
This is Frank with the IRS. Frank, I told you I'd call you back later.
Frank.
Well,
Dale, not Dale. Roy D. Mercer.
Yes.
That's who it is. That's Roy D. Mercer.
Well, what's so funny, I got introduced to that.
Yeah.
A friend of mine from graduate school had taken a gig up in Minnesota.
Okay.
And now, in the meantime, he had done some postdoc work in Oklahoma. I won't say where because I don't want to identify the guy. Mm-hmm. But he was working out of Oklahoma for a while, and then he moved up to Minnesota. And he invited me up for the weekend, so I flew up there. This is before 9/11. Wow, that was so long ago. Met me at the gate, walked me all the way out. We get in his car. I don't think we've said 2 words at this point.
Yep.
We get in his truck, and he goes, listen to this. And he sticks a CD in the player. And for 45 minutes, all the way back to his house, we still don't talk.
Yep.
We just listen to Roy D. Mercer calls and cry.
Oh, yeah. It is hilarious. If you've never listened, I used to listen to tapes, cassette tapes of Roy D. Mercer making those crank calls out of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Tulsa, okay.
And when I was traveling on the road doing sales,
sure,
I would just play those things over and over. It was hilarious.
See, I wouldn't even go into the sales call if I were you. I'd be sitting on the truck.
Yeah, it was so good. And I'm sure you can probably YouTube them or something.
There's got to be.
There's got to be some kind of a podcast out there or something that they've got them recorded and they're playing them.
He started that, and then I heard like spin-offs, other people trying to do it, but nobody could ever do it.
Not as good as him.
Never. Wanda Sykes did one that was okay, but But Roy D. Mercer was the king.
He would get people so worked up. How big an old boy are you?
I need to know if I need to pack a lunch when I come down there to whoop your ass.
Oh, I'll just pack a lunch. Yeah.
Take a break. You drink my coffee.
Yep.
Eat my ham sandwich that my wife made for me, and get back in the ring.
He's good. So how's Mr. Ryan doing? Is he all settled back into Texas?
He's been texting me this morning. If I look distracted, he's found some bed sheets that he wants. And
Gotcha.
he's up and at 'em this morning.
Figured he was probably recording some kind of a podcast himself this morning.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you.
When we did, what was it? Before we started doing the podcast,
Yep.
he had seen some videos online from the Crash Course. And that's where he decided he was going to do Crash Course videos. And I sent you one of those a long time ago where he took Star Wars
Yep.
and created the parallels between God and Jesus and all of that. Well, he would go back home and work on a PowerPoint, and then he would call me via FaceTime. And he would do his PowerPoint presentation
Nice.
on FaceTime, and I couldn't
Yeah, yeah.
I could not listen. So it's like the world stops, and for 30 minutes I'm in a seminar.
That's cool.
So yeah, I'm certain he is setting up some sort of recording studio in his room right now.
Yep. That's awesome. What's up, Ryan?
I did have one bit of advice for listeners out there,
Yep.
but I think I'll save it because of your Walmart story.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is where we need to kind of land today.
Okay.
Quick to listen,
Yep.
slow to speak,
Yep.
slow to anger.
Mm-hmm. For anger does not produce the righteousness of God. James 1:19-20. Yep. Good stuff. Thanks,
Well,
Doc.
Thank you guys for tuning in today into our new studio setup here. Hopefully everything sounds well. We will continue to learn the equipment and get better and better at this. So we're just these guys. I'm Lance,
Mike.
and we will catch you guys next week.
Have an awesome week. Yeah, there you go.